It's the NFL International Series on EA Sports. And the Chicago Bears taking on Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Tonight, it's another installment of the International Series, and we've got a good one on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Matt Ryan, the longtime Falcon, a veteran who's been in the league since 2008, ready to guide this Atlanta offense.
This past offseason was one where the Atlanta organization continued to build around their quarterback, Matt Ryan, because he can still throw the rock. Fifth in the NFL in passing yards last year with better than 4,400. He's a guy who knows how to get the ball to his guys on the perimeter and take care of it even when he's under duress in the pocket. Sacked 48 times last year.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now it's Ryan. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
On 4th down, the Falcons trot out the rookie punter from Syracuse, Sterling Hoffrichter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. With a hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
Always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. He didn't let that bother him at all. Stud, 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. And it's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
I'm darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again, it's Trubisky. Again has it complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards on the play, first down. So 4 plays, Charles, all passes here on the opening drive and already in the red zone.
And even if you're planning for them to throw the football a lot, on the opening drive, if they go 4 for 4 on you, you're off balance on defense. I've been there before. And part of you keeps thinking, they've got to run it at some point, right? They've got them really mixed up at this point. If I were them, I'd keep pressing the advantage. They're throwing it really well.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. They'll roll him out right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Second and 8. From the shotgun is Trubisky. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career. And he didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to play with a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch.
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's Allen Robinson who caps things off with a touchdown. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. Out of the gun, he'll throw. He completes this to Russell Gage. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Cohen. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. He's got the hook up to Miller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, it's Trubisky. This is caught by Ginn. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. The throw complete, Trubisky to Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he goes. Mitchell Trubisky with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was all capped off by Mitchell Trubisky's touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Ryan. A very quick pass to Ridley. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's Ryan. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Ryan on first down. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's David Montgomery, second-year man from Iowa State. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will make it into the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the third quarter with a run by Cohen. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They go play action with Trubisky. It's complete. It's Miller. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
From midfield now, here's Trubisky. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
That first down completion only netted him 3, 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 41. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll throw from the gun. Completes it to Powell. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On third down, Ryan. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a fourth down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Back now in Mexico City. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle. You can really tell right now both sides have amped up the aggressiveness. That time the offense winning the aggression battle.
And the defense was obviously aiming for the football, maybe a little bit more so than the runner himself. And that's why he was able to break through and get the gain that he did.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky and quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now it's Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Eddie Pinheiro on now for the Bears. This to make it a 3-score game late. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw again, Ryan. Dumps it off to Gurley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.